Hey everybody, Joseph Rothschild here, aka Mono Bluetron, back again with another episode of 10-Minute Testing. So if you tuned in Tuesday, we were tinkering around with Spiral, and we ended up pretty happy with the list we made. So today we're going to see if we can make the magic happen with the other mediocre TCG archetype, Subterrors. So here's the deck. Now keep in mind this video is coming out about a week after the Fiendess leak, so if it turns out these unreleased Subterrors are just the most bonkers cards in the history of time, please don't tear me apart in the comments section too hard. As always, I will explain a little bit about the archetype, a little about what I hope the deck can do, and of course, the card by card. So, first, Subterrors is the tails half of the coin that is Konami TCG releases. While Spiral is a cool, flashy archetype with special summons and synchro plays, Subterror is an archetype whose primary win condition seems to be hope your opponents forget which ones are set where. Subterrors represent one in another of a long line of Konami's attempts to make flip effect monsters playable. These kaiju ripoffs are sorted into two categories, the behemoths and the guys. The behemoths are giant 5-star and up monsters that all have a really busted effect when they're flipped up. They can flip themselves face down, and they can special summon themselves from the hand if something's turned face down and the only cards you control are face down. This actually makes it quite easy to barf out your hand if you draw into several Subterrors at once. The non-behemoths, the guys, all do different things, but the only ones we're concerned about are the warrior and the new card, the Fiendess. One is a cool combo starter, the other is an unbricker and a hand trap. Now, I know you're looking at a lot of these cards and wondering what exactly I intend to do with them. What I hope the deck can do is open Warrior as often as possible. Now that shouldn't be hard because we have the field spell, and we have Terraforming, and we have Terratop for MX Saber Invoker, so effectively we've got 12 different cards that make him. Opening Gofu as well means we can special summon Gofu, normal summon the warrior, sacrifice him and the Gofu, and then go into a 9 or lower Subterror in order to get the chain going. There's actually a multitude of openings involving cheating out Subterrors if we have like a medium bricky hand, Fiendess if we have a very bricky hand, and we can even sit on a set warrior and a hidden city if we have a giga bricky hand. I played a lot, and I mean a lot of different variants of Subterrors, and this was by far the one that I found to be the most consistent and the most powerful. So, with that, let's go to the card by card. First, we have 3 copies of Subterror Fiendess. Now, during either player's turn, whenever your opponent activates any card or effect, you can flip a face-up Subterror you control face down and negate it. This effect can be activated from hand, which is nuts. Additionally, you can flip a monster you control that's face-up, face-down to special summon a Subterror from your hand. This means you can flip a bricky guy, summon a Subterror, flip themselves face-down, and just dump your hand. After that, we have 3 copies of Nemesis Warrior. This card can tribute itself at instant speed along with a friend in order to make a Subterror. Additionally, if you flip up a Subterror, you can special this guy from your graveyard, which means there are rank 4 plays that are possible. This is most of our combo game and how we're going to start the majority of our plays. After that, we have 3 copies of Ultra Maphis, the good behemoth, who Quakings the board. I mean, they can still be flipped face up, but Quaking is still quite good, even if it only lasts a turn. 3 copies of Votoluric. This guy's awful, but unfortunately he is 9 stars, which makes him the perfect target for Warrior plus Gofu, and he takes control of a set monster your opponent controls, which means he has positive synergy with both Maphis and Quaking, so we've included him. He's also got 3,000 defense, so it's not the worst thing in the world to sit on. Additionally, we have 1 Umastrix to round out our Behemoth lineup. He is a single target removal, and he has a stat line that lets us make it off Warrior and a Terratop. That's all of our Subterrors. After that, we've got 3 copies of Terratop, 1 to Kedemborg in order to find MX Saber Invoker, which gets us Warrior, and 3 copies of Gofu. On to spells, we have 3 copies of Hidden City. This card adds a Subterror to our hand and can negate an opponent's attack once per turn if we have a face-down Subterror and flip it face up. We have 3 copies of Terraforming to find that card since it's instrumental in a lot of our plays and our defensive setups. A Rhoda to find Warrior, a Regeki to... well, Regeki... An Upstart to draw exactly 1 card, 2 Pot of Desires in order to go -10 twice, and 3 copies of Instant Fusion in order to make Zolkin. I figured as long as we're playing Gofu, we probably should include a Zolkin package as well. Instant Fusion also has an ability to make rank 4 plays with Warrior, and you know, it can even make synchro plays with Warrior and Theseus as well, so I figure it's probably a good enough include. After that, we have the Solemn Boys, 2 Strikes and a Warning, and 3 Quakings in order to make our Votolurgics better and give us time with brick hands. In the extra, we have the Zolkin package, 1 Zolkin, 1 Void Ogre, 1 Crystal Wing. We've got a Vermilion Mech for those rank 9 plays with Instant Fusion, a Panzer for Zolkin, a Thesis for the Synchro plays, a Norden because for some reason this card has not yet been banned, an Invoker to Invoke, a Totem Bird in case we don't need Invoker, a Gram Pulse for cheeky rank 3s, a Castel, an Abyss Dweller, the Utopia Twins for rank 4, and finally a VFD in case we ever make 2 Vote Allergic, but, you know, I'm not really holding my breath for that one. With that, let's jump into the games. Our first game is up against Synchro Zombies, a deck that I wish was just a little bit better. When you get to resolve a lawn mowing and mill several Mizukis, it feels very powerful, and when you open Shinrai Solitaire, it seems like it can't be beat, but occasionally you get your plays interrupted and just lose the entire game. We've opened quite well. We have a Solemn Warning, a Quaking, and a Gofu, as well as a Hidden City, which means we'll be able to do our turn 1 play of making Vote Allergic. This game, I'm going to go for a more defensive option than I do in later games. Still kind of playing a little scared. I make the Gofu tokens just for additional blockers, because I'm still under the impression that I can get blown out at any time, but honestly, I just don't think that's true. It's probably better just to barf my entire hand here. He's going to summon the Shinrai Solitaire, which immediately gets Solemn Warning. On my turn, I'm going to flip up the Vote Allergic and use Nemesis Warrior's effect to get him back, then attack in for 19 and 18. That's halfway, and I have a Regeki in my hand, so I'm going to flip this guy face down and hope for the best. Our opponent is going to activate Book of Life to get back the Solitaire and banish my Gofu. I can't do anything about this, so he'll go into Unizombie, use Unizombie in order to send a Mizuki, use Mizuki to get back the Solitaire, I mean yada yada yada. He goes into Scarlight, and then normal summons a Shinrai Solitaire. I decide to Quaking once he attacks, and then he's going to end his turn. On my turn, I figure, well, I can flip with this Vote Allergic and, like, take the Scarlight Red Dragon Archfiend, but I think the better play is just to Raigeki. Since I drew the Terraforming, I can use Hidden City in order to get myself another copy of a Subterror monster. He flips up a card in response to the Raigeki, but it actually doesn't do anything in this specific instance, so I think, okay, shields are pretty much down here. Let's go ahead and get Fiendess, normal summon Fiendess, flip up the Vote Allergic to special summon the Warrior, and attack in for, I believe, exact lethal. Nope. 200 over. Our second match is up against Lyrical Lucinia, and, oh boy, I bet this guy misses playing Neptune. We've opened pretty well. We have a Gofu and an Instant Fusion, which means we're going in on the Zolkin package this game. We're going to go ahead and start by doing just that, special summoning Gofu, using Instant Fusion to get Panzer Dragon, and then immediately going into Zolkin, setting a card, getting Crystal Wing, and ending our turn. Our opponent is going to start off by normal summoning Cobalt Sparrow, and then Instant Fusioning into Nightingale, and overlaying into the Xyz. I figure this is a pretty perfect target for Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. We'll go ahead and negate and destroy that, and we should be able to win from here. We're going to draw another spell, so I figure, hell, let's make Void Ogre, and whoops, there's Tretch. Okay, well, I guess we're playing Subterrors after all. We'll get Hidden City. Nemesis Warrior will sacrifice Zolkin because he counts as a level 12 to get Umastrix. Then we will flip him face down to get Ultramaphis, flip him face down for Volt Allergic, and then end our turn. We've barfed our entire hand. We have a Raigeki set. He's going to use another Instant Fusion to get TER and grab my Ultramaphis, but it's not a big deal. I mean, I have so much. We'll go ahead and flip up Umastrix for Nemesis Warrior and flip up Vote Allergic to get in for damage. He activates Drowning, but at instant speed, I will pop 2 of my guys away for a set copy of Ultramaphis and end my turn. We have a Quaking and a Raigeki. I mean, just great insurance. He is going to pass back. I'll go ahead and flip up this Ultramaphis, special summon the Nemesis Warrior from grave, use this effect to get a copy of Fiendess, just in case he has some sort of trickery afoot, then set this Ultramaphis back to face down defense and end my turn. He's going to go ahead and upstart Goblin, then normal summon Snowbell, special summon Turbo Booster, go into the Xyz, which I will immediately Fiendess from my hand, such a good card, and then end his turn. On my turn, I'll just be able to flip my guys face up and attack in for lethal. So that game, we actually got to see both halves of our deck in action, the Zolkin package as well as the generically good Subterror stuff. Unfortunately, sometimes our opponents are going to try to interact with us. Our third game is up against Trickstars, a new interactive deck. It's a consistent burn archetype that tries to stun your opponent out just enough to get a couple attacks in with an 1800 and 1600 attack monster, while chipping away the rest of their life points by making them pay to activate their own cards. They get to go first, unfortunately, which means they get to normal summon Candina. That adds a Trickstar card to their hand. They'll get the field spell, which adds another Trickstar card to their hand. The card they pick is Lycorisica, which is insane. This card deals 200 to your opponent every time they add a card to their hand, which is not good for us. We're going to start off by using Fiendess's effect on a Panzer Dragon that we have instant fusioned in order to get a Subterror out. Unfortunately, they will recall that. That negates and destroys the card, allows me to draw 1 card, which of course deals damage to me, and then lets me continue my play. So unfortunately, I draw into a Terraforming, which means I have to play the Terraforming, take more damage, damage, play Hidden City, take more damage, and then at end step we're going to allow this Panzer Dragon to destroy the field spell that has done so much to us. Our opponent is going to normal summon another copy of Candina in order to get the trap to their hand, but unfortunately we're just dead here. We take 18, 16, and then they return the Candina to the hand to special summon the Licoricrica, and what do you know, we accidentally died. So we're back with a deck. This is certainly the most powerful that Subterror has ever felt, and I say that as someone who's played about 10,000 hours of Prediction Princess Subterror back when I thought, you know, that was going to be good. Fiendess adds a lot to the deck, and the ability to both interact with your opponent as well as unbrick yourself is something the deck was severely lacking. Additionally, the playmaking ability of Subterror Nemesis Warrior, when including things like Gofu, really has pushed the deck into the realm of playability. Unfortunately, it doesn't play particularly well around Hate, and folding to a single copy of Solemn Strike or Solemn Warning is not really where you want to be right now. Ultimately, I think the ball is in Konami's court. If they release a new Subterror Behemoth that is much better than Vote-Allergic and findable off of Nemesis Warrior plus Gofu, I could see this becoming a pretty good deck in the near future, but otherwise it's going to be casually fun and can steal games off meta decks, but probably nowhere near tier 1. So that's that. I hope you enjoyed another conclusion I came to without seeing all the cards in the set. If you want to see me play the decks I make on this show on stream, I'm on twitch.tv/monobluetron every Monday and Wednesday from 10 to noon Eastern Standard Time. Link is in the description. And if you want me to play a certain deck or archetype on a future episode of this show, let me know in the comment section below and I will do my best to accommodate you. Otherwise, I'll see you Thursday.